There is no passion to be found playing small, in settling for a life that is less than the one you are capable of living. Nelson Mandela said that, and I absolutely love it. For me, I spent many, many years hiding, playing small, being afraid to venture out of my comfort zone, afraid of being judged, afraid of looking like I thought I was better than anybody else. So I dumbed down and I played small. Can you relate to that? There is a saying in, oh, I believe it's the Japanese culture, maybe Chinese culture. I'm going to mess it up. But it's the nail that stands up gets hammered down, which that's a collective consciousness. And they don't want to stand out. They don't want attention like we as Americans or people in the Western world do. But we all have that. Like, I believe it came from our ancestors, like people like Martin Luther King or John Lennon, John Kennedy, JFK. They all were murdered for believing in something, for having a vision. And I believe as a collective consciousness, we kind of get that, ooh, I better stay within the parameters. I better stay in the box, or I could be terminated. My life could end. And I know it's not conscious, but in our collective unconscious mind, there is a bit of fear of standing out, of being judged, of not fitting in, of being left out on the iceberg to die. If you don't know what I'm talking about, that's what Eskimos used to do with people that were no longer of value. So, what I want to talk to you about tonight is actually living a life of passion and meaning, that you leave a legacy behind and you're like, damn, my life is awesome. I am in love with my life. And you would be amazed at how quickly you can create that, because nothing out here is going to ever make you happy for very long. I'm not going to say ever, but not for very long. It's not sustainable. I've been reading this book. I'll just show it to you. It is called Dollars Flow to Me Easily by Richard Dotz. And it's really fascinating because anything that you want, like you actively want something, you desire it, it comes from this place of feeling like you're separate from it. And when you feel like you're separate from it, there's this need or this lack. And that is not the way to go about getting anything. So, what he has us do, it's really quite fascinating. It's a very short book and it's very practical. And he says, if you close your eyes and you just focus within and you allow your natural good feelings to arise, and you don't try to make them happen, you don't try to conjure them up, you just allow them. And when they're there, you notice them and you just sit in it, you just stay there. It's natural within each and every one of us, this universal good feelings. And I've been in the Dr. Joe Dispenza community for quite some time, and I practice, because he teaches us to do so, tuning into my heart, focusing my energy on my heart, and radiating that love outward and radiating that love inward toward myself. And it's just, it's a focus, it's an intention, and it's attention and intention. So when both of those are present, you're not separate from anything. And it's hard to explain unless you're willing to take it on. So I've been doing this. I've just been sitting. I play some music. Just that's it. I play some music and I just focus on feeling good. Like that's it. And I've been so much happier. And I feel so much more loving toward myself, toward everybody. And I'm able to allow what is without trying to change it, knowing that what I experience out in my reality, my 3D reality, is merely a reflection of my dominant vibration. So if I've been focused on lack and been feeling the feelings of lack, that's what's going to show up. If I've been focused on separation or discord or life being unfair, whatever it is, I'm going to experience that. If I'm focused on love, that's what's going to show up for me. If I'm focused on abundance, that is what's going to show up for me. And it reminds me of when I was in 12-step recovery, in my program, we had like 3 circles. The inner circle was what was considered to be our addictive behaviors because I was not in a substance program. And it could be anything like, even like watching too much television could lead to my addictive behaviors. So it's like all the things that I consider to be like, if I do this, I'm no longer sober. And then we had like middle circle, and those were like your warning behaviors, like staying up past midnight for some people, or not getting enough sleep, not eating well, not taking care of ourselves, not meditating, things like that. And then there was the outer circle. And I love this. The outer circle, how I best explain it is, where do you experience the love of God? Where do you experience ease and flow? You know, those states where you lose time, you're like just so in it and you're so happy. So for some people, it could be dancing or making art or writing or singing or doing yoga. I don't know, meditating, all those things that remind you of the truth of who you are. And you experience passion, you experience bliss. And what I got in the habit of doing back then when I was in recovery was scheduling these in, because if I didn't, I wouldn't do them. I didn't take the time to do them. So also I used it as, and I had an actual list. I actually painted it, like not painted it, but I drew it out. If I was feeling in some of those middle circles, some of those warning behaviors where I was feeling kind of blah, or I could go either way. I could go back to my addiction, or I could just stay in this blah state. Then I would look at my list and say, okay, which one of these could I do right now? And some of them were as easy as connecting to my breath, or meditating for a few minutes, or focusing on a happy memory, calling somebody who is a friend who will light me up, thinking about, here's one that's really interesting. Like if I focus on my heart, I do this one a lot. I still do it sometimes. I used to do it quite a bit. And now I'm going to do it again because I just remembered it. But if I was feeling icky, like sad or depressed or feeling sorry for myself, if I just dropped into my heart and thought, who could use a phone call from me right now? Somebody would pop into my heart and mind like immediately. And I would call that person and say, hey, you were really on my heart and mind. How are you doing? And they'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad you called. And then I was able to help somebody, to support them move through something. And I felt like I mattered, like I was of service. And then my mood was like up here and theirs was up here. And that is how life works. When we don't stay in our own crap and we are willing to focus out, it ends up helping us just as much as the other person. Because a lot of times people look at it the opposite way, like I don't have anything to give. And they don't see the bigger picture. Like if you actually give and you are of service, it will lift you up. You will remember the truth of who you are, that you're valuable, that we're all connected. We all need each other. We're all part of one whole. And it's so beautiful when that happens. So the reason I came up with this topic for tonight, this is sort of funny. I was chatting with this guy, like brand new guy on a dating site. And I asked him something simple, like what lights you up or what makes you smile? And he couldn't think of anything. And he redirected the question. And he was so afraid of me rejecting him that he wouldn't even answer me on that. And I thought about what a sad way to go through life. Like, number one, protecting himself against me, a stranger, like he doesn't know me at all. So really, I cannot hurt him unless he allows it, right? Because he doesn't know me. I don't know him. If I reject him, am I really rejecting him? Because I don't know him. So that's how I look at things. But also to not know offhand what you're passionate about, what lights you up, what makes you smile. I'm like, that's really sad. I wonder how many people are like that. So I encourage you right now, like, don't even wait. Like, make a list of your happiest moments or things right now that when you think of them or you do them, they make you smile. Like, one of my favorite things, this is so hilarious. There's got to be a neurological connection here. And I'm going to find somebody to study this. I have a sample size of 20. Yes, I studied statistics in college. I was an economics major. So sample size is like how many people actually were in your study. So my sample size is about 20 right now. So it's not statistically significant. That was hard to say. So 20 people all tried this, right? So if you're feeling depressed or sad or anxious and you try skipping, like a child skipping, it is the quickest thing to shift your mood. I don't know a single person who's done this who hasn't started giggling. Not one. So I'll do that if I'm feeling stuck or stagnant or kind of like sad or feeling sorry for myself. I'm like, no, I don't like this. I'm going to go skip. And then, of course, because I have this fun dog, she follows me and jumps and she makes me laugh too. So that even adds to it if you have a pet. But go try it. Don't sit in it. Don't sit in the blah. And it's really normal to sit in it, to go through the same day over and over and over like Groundhog Day, because that's the way our brains are wired. They're wired for more of the same. Unless something happens, it usually takes like a tragedy, like our spouse leaves us or has an affair, or we get fired from our job, like something major usually has to happen for most of us to wake the F up. Now, it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to. Don't wait for that. Do not wait for that. Wake up now, like make a choice. Now your subconscious mind is going to fight you. So be prepared for that. It is going to hit you with everything it has. It's going to bring in all of your limiting beliefs. So let's say, for example, you've always wanted to write a book. And then every time you go to write, your subconscious mind is like, oh, no one's going to read it. Why are you bothering? You really ought to go make that whatever dinner, or you should call your friend. She really wants to hear from you. So instead of actually writing your book, you will come up with all these excuses. And it's not you, it's your subconscious mind or your ego that's wired for safety. And safety to your subconscious mind is anything that you've done before. Anything you haven't done before, it thinks is a possible threat or danger, which could threaten your survival. Now, you and I both know writing a book, unless it's hate-filled, is not going to kill you, right? You know that logically, but your logical mind only has 5% of control over what you do. The 95% comes from your subconscious mind. So you really get to start bringing those beliefs up and shine some light on them. Like, really? Do I really need to go bake something right now? Or do I really need to make that phone call? What am I avoiding? What do I not want to feel? What am I afraid of? And when you start to question those voices, they're going to crumble because they don't make any sense. When you bring them up and shine light, you're like, makes no sense, right? But in your mind, they make perfect sense. You're like, oh my gosh. And most of us are not trained to look at that. We just believe those voices when they're full of crap. So I'm inviting you to stop it, to be committed to your vision. So if you really want to write a book, commit to a schedule, no matter what, rain or shine. There's this book I read years ago called The War of Art. Yes, The War of Art. And he talks, like, one person asked him, or a lot of people, do you only write when you're inspired? And he's like, yes, I do. And fortunately, that comes every morning at 9 a.m. So it's like, okay, it's 9 a.m. I'm inspired. Like, he's got a schedule. He's committed to it. And you can do that with whatever it is. So whatever brings you joy, whatever is going to feel good to have done. Let me say that again. The things that will drive us and help us to create our visions and lives that we're passionate about, lives that we love and we're proud of, and we're like, oh my gosh, I love my life. It's awesome. Those are not the things that we're necessarily going to enjoy doing. Some of them are going to be really freaking hard, really hard, and they're going to be scary. So your vision must be stronger. And the way to get your vision to be strong and like right in front and actually helping you to do something is to connect with your why. Now, my boyfriend, Simon Sinek, he's not really my boyfriend. He's just my celebrity crush. He has this whole thing about start with the why. So if you know why it's important to you, and you keep asking, okay, why is it important for me to write a book? Well, I feel like, you know, I haven't lived all of these experiences for nothing. Like they got to mean something. Okay, well, why is it important for you to share your experiences? And you keep going until at least 7 times. You're going to keep that line of questioning. You keep asking, okay, well, why is that important? Well, then why is that important? And you're going to hit something and something's going to shift in you. You might start to cry. Your voice might crack. You might get goosebumps. But energetically, you will know when you hit your deep why. And usually it must be personal and selfish. Yes, selfish. So some people will say, like, I want to help people. Well, why? Why is it important for you to help people? Well, because I feel like my life doesn't have any meaning unless I'm helping people. Well, why do you feel like your life has no meaning? Well, because I've felt like I wasn't enough my whole life. So you just keep going and you might come up with, I will feel valuable and I'll know that I contributed if people read my story and actually shift, if it makes a difference for them, then I will feel valuable and I'll know that my life mattered. And that's a selfish why. Even though it has like a good intention, it's still your selfish why. So I really hope that made sense to you. So find those things every single day that make you passionate, that light you up. It could be anything. It could be every day you skip. What do I know? Maybe every day you play with your dog. My dog is super fun. So lately we've been playing, I'm afraid to say it, she's going to jump, balloon. So I blow up a balloon and I hit it in the air and then she jumps and hits it. And then I hit it and she jumps and hits it. And it's hilarious. She's so funny and she loves it so much. And I have a little signal sound when she's about to pop it. I'll just make the sound and she backs away. If it gets like close to a wall or on the floor, she will pop it, right? So find something. What's something that you love doing as a child? I just thought of the book today, The Artist's Way. And in that book, Julia Cameron, the author, has you do artist dates. And they're really dates with yourself and your inner child once a week. And you do something that your adult self would think is silly or frivolous, but your inner child really wants to do, wants to play. And it could be, you go to the arts and crafts store and you buy some stuff and you draw or paint, it could be art related, but it might not be. It might be flying a kite in the park. It might be skydiving. I don't know. It could be anything. It could be something crazy. It could be something really simple, like taking a stroll in the park and feeding the ducks. I don't know. Whatever would light you up and make you feel alive and remind you that you are here for a purpose. And when you follow that thread of desire and you keep amplifying it, like I said in the beginning, amplifying those good feelings, because what you focus on expands. And the more you focus on those good feelings and you create opportunities for you to feel those good feelings, the happier you're going to be. And guess what? There's going to be a ripple effect. The happier your children will be, your coworkers, your spouse, your partner, all the people that are around you, the people that come in contact with you in the supermarket. I tell you, this is no joke. Like when I'm out, people feel good around me because, most of the time, not always, but most of the time, it is my intention to enter the world with love, with an open heart, and to radiate that love. And the heart's energy field is massive. It's so much bigger when you are in love. And when you are in emotions like fear or doubt or frustration, your energy field shrinks. And it also starts drawing from the universal field. So you start sucking energy away from people. And I deal with so many heart-centered people that is the last thing they would want to do, is to suck energy from people. So when you start focusing on love and on what you can love about yourself, what you can love about your current situation, anything, connecting to source, to God, to the universe, because all the good stuff is already here. We've just put on our blinders. We're like, nope, that doesn't apply to me. That's only for others. No, I only get this this bucket of shit right here. That's for me. All the good stuff, the prime rib or whatever it is that you like, the roses, the diamonds, the Mercedes Benz, all that's for others. I only get this. If we just focus on what's good already within us, and we focus on source, we focus on love, focus on our heart, and allow those good feelings to just naturally bubble up and just notice them and stay there, then we're going to create lives that we absolutely freaking love. And we're going to give others permission to do the same. And I want to share with you this quote from Oprah. Passion is energy. Feel the power that comes from focusing on what excites you. So passion is energy. Feel the power that comes from focusing on what excites you. And just talking about that, I hope that it inspires you to take up something you've always wanted to do. Like for me, all right, I'll give you an example. I've always wanted to learn Irish step dancing, but I haven't done it yet. But maybe I will. I mean, it's just like something silly. I think it's really fun and super brilliant and hilarious at the same time. And I'm going to give you some more examples. Like many years ago, I took a stand-up comedy class. Now, did I always want to do stand-up? No. But I was looking at the community college brochure, and it was billed for people that wanted to do public speaking. And I'm like, oh, I've always wanted to do public speaking. So why not do stand-up comedy? I always tried to be funny in life. I didn't always succeed. And boy, did I suck at stand-up. Just thinking about it makes me laugh because I was so bad at it. But I didn't practice very long. I only did it a few times, but I did it. I had the guts to do it. And then I found things that I liked better, like improv and sketch comedy, which is like the skits, like Saturday Night Live. I love doing that. But my humor is responsive. So when I have somebody in front of me and they say something, my humor is like, boom, I'm quick. I can come up with a witty retort. But stand-up is like, you got to memorize stuff. And if you've been watching the show for any period of time, you know that's not my thing. I don't memorize things. I just speak from the heart. And that is what I teach other people to do, to connect to their heart, to source, to God, and to share themselves authentically, like all of themselves. So you guys get to see my weird, you get to see my serious, you get to see my smart, you get to see my foibles, like when I fumble over words and all the things. And that is me. You like it or you don't. That's okay. I'm not for everyone. I really want to know what you are going to do with this. What are you going to do right now today that lights you up? Because life is too short to live small. Life is too short to dim down. It is your time. It is your time to embrace your calling, to embrace your passion, and to be out in the world as that beacon of light that you were meant to be. I forgot to tell you who I was. See, I get on these rants. By the way, I'm Karen Seltz. I'm your host. You are watching Irresistible You, Ignite Your Passion and Purpose. Funny, we're talking about passion tonight, right? So I've hosted this show. I believe this is my 85th episode. Every single week I do a live episode, unless I'm traveling, and then I pre-record one for you. And I absolutely love doing this. It stretches me to continue to be in the work, to continue to trust myself and to trust God, and to continue to serve people. And that is my mission. I'm here to serve people, to wake up and to step into their calling. So let me know in the comments what you are going to do. Let us celebrate one another in this community. If you like this episode, please give me a like and share and subscribe. Do all the things. And I will see you right here next week, where I'm going to have a guest who is a fantastic, lovely, fun woman named Bonnie Chan. She and I coached in a leadership program together, and she is a ball of energy. And we're going to be talking about personal growth within the family unit, that it starts at home. And I absolutely adore her. And I think that you are going to as well. So be sure to tune in live next week, and we will see you there. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.